Hello, welcome to Yoga 413. I'm Tauni, and today's class is all about improving the flexibility in our hamstrings. If you have a yoga block or maybe even a large book, you might want to grab that, although it is not necessary for the class. So get what you need and let's get started. Let's begin in downward facing dog. Hands shoulder distance apart, feet hip distance apart. Begin to walk your dog. Alternate, bending the knees, pressing the heel down towards the mat, beginning to lengthen all down the back of the legs through those hamstrings and even the back. Now deeply bend both knees, press your chest back, and then slowly begin to straighten your legs, coming into our static hold of downward facing dog. Lengthening down through the heels, like they're reaching for the mat, even though they may never touch. Find that nice, long, steady rhythm of your breath. So find that stretch in the back of the legs, into the hamstrings, and even down into the calves. Begin to look forward and begin to walk the feet towards the hands. We're going to move into ragdoll pose. Now I invite you to deeply bend your knees, like you're placing your belly on your thighs. Cradling the elbows, relax your head and neck. I want you to feel like the top of your head is reaching down for the mat. Now I've had you bend your knees because oftentimes if those hamstrings are super tight, people will round their back and look like this, and it puts too much pressure on your lumbar spine. Think about a nice long spine. Breathe into your stretch, into the back of the legs. Releasing those elbows, slowly begin to roll up, pulling the belly muscles in till we're up into mountain pose of Tadasana. Keep the right foot toes going straight forward and step the left foot back. That left foot is about 45 degrees. Hips are square. Begin to lean over. We're moving into pyramid pose, again with a nice long spine. This is where that block might come in handy, or you can just place it there on the shin. And again, feel the top of your head reaching down for that right foot. Sending the right hip back in line with the left. So beautiful stretch for that right hamstring. Begin to walk the hands back up. And we're just going to switch sides. So the left foot steps forward, right foot back. Again, about 45 degrees. Squaring your hips, lengthen forward into your pose. Give me just one more deep breath. And then again, with control, we come up and step forward into Tadasana. So we've been folding forward a lot. Let's just give one little opener here. Just place your hands on your low back, look up. And then right back into our mountain pose of Tadasana. So the legs are firm. Engage those front of the legs. Reach the arms up. Come into forward fold. Again, you're welcome to soften those knees as much as needed. Great place for a block. Now start to move into our half lift. This is called Ardha Uttasana. Hands to the shins or even onto the block. We want a nice long spine. So most people will begin to feel this stretch more in the upper part of the hamstring. The legs are as straight as you can get them. And a nice long back, shoulders pulled back. And you want those eyes slightly forward in this pose. Good. We're going to come all the way down and step our feet back into downward facing dog. Once again, pedal out your feet. Maybe you feel a little bit more space, a little looser now than the first time. Good. Hold downward facing dog. Feel both heels reaching down for the mat. Begin to walk your feet forward, and we are going to have a seat on the mat. All right, we're going to move into a seated one-leg fold. We're going to extend with the right leg out and the left foot into that inner thigh. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, lengthen, reach up. And then as you exhale, come forward over that leg. Does not matter how deep you get into the pose. Just matters that you feel the length all down the back of that right leg. So you'll notice I'm trying to elongate my spine, shortening the space here at the crease of the leg rather than rounding like this. If you're really tight, you could also sit on that block or a blanket to elevate your hips. That also assists you. If you have really tight hamstrings, that's a way to get into the stretch. Begin to come up, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So extending left leg out, right foot to that inner thigh. Again, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come forward. Let's come up, and we're going to take it all the way down onto the mat. Hug the knees into the chest. And we're going to move into happy baby pose. So you want your back connected, shoulders connected. Lift the ankles over the knees. You can either grab here and pull the knees down as you hold on behind the thighs, or take those peace fingers around the big toe, thumb on top, and again, you're gently pulling the knees down towards the mat. Let's hug the knees back into the chest, a little massage here, side to side for the back. Taking the feet to the edges of the mat, knees bent, arms come into goalpost. Let's do a few windshield wipers, again, just to release the back. That was a lot of folding forward. So just releasing that, neutralizing our spine. Good, roll to one side, help yourself up to have a seat. And that is it, short and sweet, lengthening the hamstrings. Be consistent with this class. Maybe a couple of times a week you will see improvement in your flexibility, I promise you. Thank you so much for joining me for class. From my heart to yours, namaste. Have a blessed day.